everyone, I'm Jennifer, back with another one of my top favorite lists. And as it's Father's Day, this one is my top 5 favorite fathers in Star Wars. Now, before I get started, I'd like to say 3 things. Number 1, this list is completely my opinion, so if a father or father figure from Star Wars that you like did not make it on this list, I apologize. Number 2, only one of the gentlemen listed on that is on this list is a confirmed father within the Star Wars universe. The others 4 are all father figures, which means they are not technically the fathers of the kids they are looking after, but they are the closest thing to a dad that these kids have. And number 3, I am actually dedicating this list to my own dad, who got me interested in Star Wars to begin with. So let's get started. Number 5 on the list is Owen Lars. I really liked him, and I really thought he was a good father figure to Luke. Also, what is very interesting about Owen is that he has no genetic connection to Luke, and neither does his wife Beru. The fact that he is considered family to Luke is the fact that his dad was married to Anakin's mom, so he and Anakin were stepbrothers. So in Phantom Menace, at the end of Phantom Menace, when Obi-Wan brings Luke to their homestead to be raised, Owen and Brooke, knowing who the father of this child was and what that meant, could have very easily had said, no, we want nothing to do with this baby. We don't even really have a blood connection to him at all. Neither one of us do. And left it up to Obi-Wan to raise Luke, and they didn't. They actually did raise him as their own son/nephew. And Owen really does, you don't see it much following that, but in the scenes that he's in A New Hope, he is doing everything he can to protect Luke. And, you know, that's what a dad does, is they protect the kids under their care. So he was a good father figure to Luke, and he really was the only father figure that Luke had. The only reason that he is slated as number 5 is that, unlike a lot of the other dads on this list, he really wasn't giving Luke the freedom to be who he was. He was trying to make him be what he thought he should be. Number 4 is Bail Organa. Now, very much like Owen, he didn't have to take in Leia. He could have found a family on Alderaan to raise her, and he didn't. He actually took her in and raised her as his daughter. So a lot of parallels between him and Owen. The big difference is that, and this is not really brought up in the movies, but it is brought up in the Ahsoka book, he gets involved in the rebellion because he wants Leia to grow up in a galaxy where she is safe from the Empire, and if she can't grow up in a galaxy where she's safe from the Empire, then her descendants will be able to. So that's kind of why I rank him a step higher than Owen, because Owen really didn't want Luke to get involved in the fight against the Empire. And Bail, I don't know if he encouraged Leia to get involved, but once she did get involved, he allowed her to remain involved. Okay, number 3 is Han Solo, and he is the only one on this list that is actually a confirmed dad within the Star Wars universe. In the books, he has 3 children, twins Jaina and Jason, and then a young son named Anakin, which he cares for very much. And in, of course, The Force Awakens, he is the father of Kylo Ren / Ben Solo. And you can see in the literature he really does care about his children, and you can also see in The Force Awakens that he does care about Ben. He refuses to give up on him and even tries to turn him back to the light, to the good side. I mean, he ends up being killed by his own son, but he does make the attempt. He doesn't want to just write his son off. So that's why I rank him as number 3. Number 4 is Obi-Wan Kenobi. Obi-Wan was not only watching over Luke for 19 years, he also basically raised Anakin from the time he was 9. And while he refers to Anakin as his brother, in the Revenge of the Sith, Anakin actually tells him that he is the closest thing he ever had to a father. So that alone, like, just kind of ranks him as a father figure to me, because he was a father figure to Anakin. He was kind of sort of a father figure to Ahsoka as well, though Plo Koon was also kind of a father figure to her as well. So Ahsoka kind of had 2 father figures. Anakin was more of a big brother to her. So he, I do consider the fact that he not only watched over Luke for 19 years, but he also, the fact that he trained and basically raised Anakin, because Anakin was, I think, solely with him in between the end of The Phantom Menace and the beginning of Attack of the Clones. So that 10-year stretch, he was solely under Obi-Wan's care. And when you got a kid that's solely under adult male's care, that means that adult male is a father figure. So that's why why I consider Obi-Wan for that place. And number 1 is Kanan Jarrus. And he really, from the time Ezra Bridger and Sabine Wren basically set foot on the Ghost and decide to stay with the crew, he fills that void, that father void in their lives. He never misses a chance to teach them something, although he's teaching Ezra more because he's teaching him the ways of the Force. But you do see him teaching Sabine a few things as well. And he is protective of them as well. And that's what a good father does. They teach their kids and they protect their kids. And you can see that Ezra, after Kanan becomes blind, does everything he can to, because he basically blames himself for that, to try and make up for it. And you can see the bond between them after that really grow. I mean, it's stretched for a little while, but it really grows before and after. It's in there. And Sabine makes this comment in at the end of Protectors of Concord Dawn. She says something very Kanan-like to Hera, and Hera says that she's sounding more like a Jedi than a Mandalorian, and Sabine basically makes the comment of, well, I guess I was just raised right, referring to how in the past 2 to 3 years, because they really don't say how old she was when she became a part of the Ghost crew. We know she was 16 at the time that that Rebels starts, so I'm assuming she was maybe there for a year, or 6 months to a year. So the 2.5 years that she was under Kanan and Hera's care, that she learned more from them than she did from her own family. And so that in itself is why I listed Kanan first in this. And you see a lot more interaction with him and the kids and his quote-unquote children than you do a lot of the other characters that made it on this list, mostly because I believe if they had a TV show that took place between The Phantom Menace and Attack of the Clones, we probably would have seen a lot more of the interaction between Obi-Wan and Anakin as a sort of father-son dynamic than we do in the Clone Wars. But in the Clone Wars, Anakin's already a Jedi Knight, so he really doesn't need to look to Obi-Wan as much as he did. So that's kind of why I ranked Kanan ahead of Obi-Wan in that aspect, only because we see him interacting more as a father with, or even with the others, we see him interacting more as a father with Sabine and Ezra than we do a lot of the other characters that made it on this list. So, those are my top 5 picks. Let me know what you think. If there was someone on this list that you feel should have been made the list as well, i.e. Jango Fett or Cut or the father, let me know. Leave it in the comment section. Like I said, this was all strictly my opinion. So, you know, it's just strictly my opinion. I'm not saying that any of the other fathers in the Star Wars universe are terrible fathers. I'm just saying I happen to like these 5 more. So feel free to leave your comments in the comment section. Let me know which of these 5 gentlemen you liked the best, or if there was another dad or father figure within the Star Wars universe that you liked as well. Feel free to put it in the comment section. Also, feel free to like and subscribe, and feel free to follow me on Twitter and Instagram. And I'll see you again next time.